Hello everyone, and welcome to Who Cares, where we're going to discuss and debate the Doctor on her adventures through space and time.
So prepare yourself for the first recorded event in history where a group of British explorers helped the citizens of India and Pakistan.
Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake.
And welcome to Who Cares again. We're here to talk about the 6th episode of Series 11 of Doctor Who, The Demons of the Punjab.
Yeah.
And I think so far we were waiting because last episode we talked about how it's halfway through the season. We'd yet to get a really good episode. We've seen some middling ones. Mm-hmm. This one, I don't know if it's as good as some of the best Doctor Who out there, but It's certainly the strongest of the season thus far.
I'd say so. I'd say it's, I don't know. It had like a really good flow to it. It wasn't like a high action thing, but all the writing seemed very tight and the concepts were good and it was interesting and we'd never been to anywhere like this. It takes place in 1947 during the Pakistan and India partition, where they split up after World War II. And the Muslims go to Pakistan and the Hindus stay in India, and it was a whole thing. And it follows Prim, right? Yeah. That's his name?
I don't remember the people's names. Don't ask me to remember the different names.
I thought his name was Prim. But her real life name's Prim, right?
I don't know.
Fuck. I don't remember either.
Anyway, this is a Yaz episode. We've also been talking about this for a while. The whole season has very much been Ryan Graham focused. This is a Yaz episode. And I don't know if it makes up for all the Ryan Yaz stuff, but it's very strong Yaz stuff because the episode begins with her interacting with her family. Her grandma's a stone cold bitch though, because she straight says to
my favorite.
You're my favorite granddaughter.
And I like the mom. The mom has a line that's like, "Hey, I told you not to fucking do that."
Yeah, it was great. I love that.
Good. Yeah, no. I think all the stuff with her family's been really strong. They seem like nice people, and it seems and Great Britain, you could use it sometimes. A little acknowledgement that they're people. Not saying we're better over here. I'm just saying, we can all use it.
Sure.
But, that was good. The grandma, I like a lot. And then I thought, implied in the beginning, and maybe this is still implied, and I don't know, but it seemed like she knew that Yaz was going to go back, but then it kind of didn't. And granted, if that were to happen in real life, it's been, 60 years or 50
she wouldn't
years?
Remember.
And also, it's pretty crazy.
I was a little surprised they didn't tip their hat to that at the end. I thought they were going to give a little hint, a little bit more that maybe she remembered. I mean, it's sort of the Back to the Future problem. Why don't, Marty's parents remember their kid looks like a guy they knew in high school? You can also
use the excuse that there is I don't know, canon in place. Yeah. It says if you basically go over your own time stream, people won't remember.
That's generally the case for Time Lords. So you could argue, sure, it might be the case.
Like
for
the
other
Doctor
things.
doesn't, like the 50th doesn't change anything in the past seasons because they can't. So.
All right, so that's good. I thought all the characters worked really well in this episode. I enjoyed the family. Again, the grandma, the old and young version, I thought were really compelling. I found the most interesting thing about the episode, we'll talk about the aliens a little later, but the compelling thing that made this episode work was the actual human drama stuff. This works in a way that I think Rosa didn't, and if you saw a review of that, you'll understand
This is what we wanted out of Rosa.
Basically.
Where the bad guy is humans being bad to each other.
Yeah, I liked that the aliens, whatever their name was, I forgot. They're actually a cool design. I like them.
They're a cool concept, too, in both iterations.
Yeah, they're supposed to be some sort of assassin race that the Doctor has heard of, but it turns out the Doctor just hasn't heard about it in a while. And the twist is they are actually a species who was almost entirely wiped out. If I had to guess in the finale, we'll find out it was by the Stenza.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
But they basically, when people die, they go to them and they're with them so they don't have to be alone in their deaths. And that's kind of a nice idea and a neat red herring to... I don't know if it's
culturally important in Hinduism for that to happen. I don't know. I'm not Hindu.
To have someone be there when you die, you mean?
Specifically, kind of like, I'm sure, just like an angel of death almost concept, because that's not foreign, really, and this is, the concept is kind of ubiquitous in a way that doesn't really come up, I guess.
See, I thought what they were kind of trying to do at the end, because in Hinduism there's the idea of like reincarnation and trying to become back into part of the whole once you can shed your karma or something like that. Again, I don't know much about this shit. Call me out if you think I'm wrong. I probably am. But at the end, when they have like the remains of their species and everyone they find, they put into that, I took as kind of a metaphor for Hindu religion.
I think so.
Not that I think that's implying that's where it comes from or anything, just like...
It's almost like a respect to Hinduism as a belief system from the Doctor's perspective. Because all superstitions and stuff from the Doctor's perspective ends up coming from somewhere that's very cool usually and plausible as far as the Doctor Who universe is concerned. So I thought that was really interesting. The politics of this, I mean, not like mirroring, but I think it's a good political show, because I mean, it really was just like, why is that guy driving Division so hard? I think his name's, I want to say Prim, could be Pim, could be something else. I forgot, saw it once. But his brother, was
Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter was kind of driving the wedge on purpose, and he's the reason everything goes wrong. I thought it was a really good, like, kind of like a little microcosm of that kind of thing, where we have like this such fervent kind of hate on one side for something, and then people on the other side going like, but why?
Yeah.
And so that was important, I think.
Yeah, it was good. I liked the message too, the talking about, like, people, it doesn't take a lot for people to go over the edge and go a little bit crazy and start attacking other people for unnecessary reasons, for stupid human prejudiced reasons. And that was really good. That was really strong. The ending scene when the people ride up and are gonna shoot the new husband, really powerful. It worked really, really well. And it is so easy. It would have been so easy to fuck that up and have it be like...
They took their time with it, and the actor they got to be her husband, I think... Like, I couldn't tell if I liked him for a while in this episode. I couldn't tell if he was even the good guy. Like, the first time, when he first comes up, I think it's probably because Yaz thinks that as well, is us as the audience were like, oh, he's not the one. Maybe the brother's the one that she marries, or it's somebody else, and we got to get this guy out of here, so he's the bad guy. But I think it was a good way of having the audience experience a piece of what Yaz is supposed to be experiencing, and then kind of going through it with that. I thought that was really interesting, and it was a good way to do that.
I agree. I liked that the Doctor was kind of not at first wanting to bring her, because obviously the Doctor's had experience bringing companions into their own time streams before.
Rose, big one.
Yeah. Doesn't tend to work out usually, but I feel like the Doctor almost in that scene, I don't know if this was in the writing or if it was just kind of in Jodie Whittaker's performance, I feel like the Doctor, in some part of their brain, was like, no, I won't fuck it up this time. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a little bit of a challenge to herself.
I liked her a lot in this episode. She's so fucking charming, and so she kind of gets this... She argues out loud with herself, which I really appreciate.
I don't know. Did you notice this one moment? And this makes me excited, because I think near the end of the season, it means we're going to get a really, like, angry Doctor moment like we got with Tennant or Matt Smith.
Sure.
Because the Doctor makes a point of saying, like, this is why you shouldn't be nice. This is what happens when you're nice. Which to me implies this version of the Doctor isn't as automatically nice as she might come off.
It's like an exercise in niceness.
She is making a concerted effort, and it makes sense based on what Capaldi had said in his final monologue. Run fast, laugh hard, be kind.
Yeah.
Like, she's trying so hard to live up to that and be that she's maybe suppressing some of that normal Doctor, like, anger underneath and some of the, like, I kind of like that implication, and I'm hoping we get a payoff.
Yeah, I'm good with where we're at right now. There was also a really good conversation about when I was a man.
Yeah, that was funny.
Blank, and then, not the time. Yeah. And then she made a very almost fourth wall joke, which was like, oh yes, every time I bring up gender and sex, it's a joke. Like, and I didn't hate it.
No,
I didn't hate it.
The way they've handled all that.
It felt like fuck you, sir.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know how much... Is there anything else specific?
There's plenty. I think the aliens are very interesting. I think I really liked that they seem menacing. They're standing over a dead body the first time you see them.
Sure.
Feels very much like my experience with Red Dead. If you accidentally press square and pick up a body and someone drives by, now there's a witness.
Yeah. And
then you gotta kill him because he opened fire on you, and now I get negative cowboy points? It was like that. And then...
cowboy points.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about. I don't know what they're called. Sounded funny. A Paragon. I don't know what they're called. Nice points. I'm trying to get all the way to... Anyway. So, I don't know. They seemed like... They even threatened them. Like, we'll fucking kill you if you don't get out of our way and quit messing with our shit. And then later on, they find out that, they just kind of usher people through death if they're alone and unrecognized, and I thought that was very interesting. And also, I think politically speaking, outside of Great Britain and maybe even inside of it, we don't really think about that event because it doesn't really affect American politics or history a lot, even though it partly was us. So that was good. I really liked that. Their designs are cool. And did you notice? This is the first time I've ever noticed this in Doctor Who. They didn't use the same molds for both faces.
Oh, the faces were different? No, I didn't.
The tusks were different lengths. They were proportioned different. The eyes were different. It's a small detail that goes so far into showing they're not just aliens. These are two different individuals.
I'm going to call this right now, by the way. We're going to see those again, because there's no way they spent that much money. Because the aliens looked real good in this episode. These might be the best-looking aliens of the season.
I'd say so.
And they're practical suits. Those are going to be brought back multiple times through Chibnall's tenure. So. I guarantee it.
I liked them a lot.
Even if they're just like Jejun, the rhino people who show up in the background sometimes.
I was thinking more of a...
Ood.
Ood.
Like an Ood type thing. Maybe they'll show up several times, but there's no way they spent that kind of money on those suits, and they're not going to reuse them. Yeah. Which is good. I
am so happy I haven't heard a Dalek voice this season. I know I'm not going to.
Chibnall said there are no recurring villains.
I know. I just like I like the Daleks sometimes, and then like it's just so refreshing not to have them around.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate if like even in season 2 or season 3 they come back. I'm fine with that because then they're a threat again.
Yeah.
Then it feels like shit.
Yeah.
Those are bad.
Also, I hate when shows get so about their own nostalgia that they stop creating new, interesting things, because eventually that well's going to run dry. You need things to do now, so if you want to call back in the future, you can call back to the newer things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't just keep repeating Dalek, Cyberman, Cyberman, otherwise it gets boring, and you saw that, I think. Don't get me wrong, some people were put off by Capaldi, but I think by the time Moffat was...
Hellbent and Heaven Set would have been better without Cyberman.
Yeah, I agree. Is that the right one? No, that's the wrong one. Are you talking about Dark Water and
am I thinking of that?
The one where Missy gets all the Cybermen?
Was that Hellbent Heaven Sent?
No, that's Dark Water and
what is Hellbent?
Hellbent is the one where he's alone in the castle, and the next one...
That one's awesome.
Yeah, and the next one is the next one, which I don't want to spoil in case somehow someone hasn't seen that, but they've watched the new season. Which happens. People sometimes watch the new season and then go back, so...
Gotta catch the girlfriend up on both.
Yeah. So,
8.5 out of 10, maybe 9.
I
based
agree.
on relative to this season.
And also, this is interesting. This is the first episode Chibnall has no writing credit on.
Yeah, but that said, I think the character focus was still really good. So I mean, the as far as show running, the emphasis on character is a through line, like we mentioned last time. I do think this episode's better. It had a better concept. I really like Doctor, aliens, not necessarily the cause of the problem.
Yeah, I like that it was completely tertiary.
I like that a lot. It doesn't have to happen all the time, and frankly, it probably shouldn't.
No, otherwise that would become its own trope.
Right, but I don't know, I felt like this should have been how Rosa was taken care of.
I agree. I agree completely.
Let the racists in Alabama during that time.
Enough of a threat.
That's so much of a threat that you can just yeah. So, yeah, maybe this was good. This is kind of a...
They could have even done the same twist and I wouldn't have cared because it would have been better. Like, they could have had, I'm just a time traveler here to witness this event. Probably like you, Doctor, or whatever.
Sure.
That would have been fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sorry, I'm still mad about Rosa being that close to good, but missing it on.
It wasn't that close
enough.
to good. It was that close to great.
Yeah,
it would have been one of the best episodes. Anyways, I don't know. I really like Yaz. I'm really glad she's there, again,
I like Graham.
Graham just killing it. He's my favorite.
Ryan, so far, when you separate him from Graham, is the weakest, in my opinion. His
dynamic
with Graham is
fine.
But
I think that'd kind of be how it was anyway, because he's so young.
Maybe.
And he's trying not to... he does that thing where he doesn't like to show emotions and stuff, and they're kind of doing that, so he's not... I don't know. I think it's okay that he's pretty one note when he's not with Graham, because I think that makes sense. He's not very comfortable around other people, and that might be just an accident of having too many companions, but it probably is. But I think it keeps him consistent.
Sure.
Whereas Yaz, she's still super worried about people, even if we don't focus on her a lot.
Yeah.
But Graham is just, I just love the shit out of him, and if they kill him,
they're gonna kill him.
Don't fucking
I think I don't necessarily think Ryan and Yaz are one-season companions. I think Graham's going to be a one-season companion. I think he's going to die or sacrifice himself in some way.
Don't do it.
And then they'll start developing more of a Ryan-Yaz relationship, I think. Because they've hinted at it several times.
I know, but Graham is just... He's such a strong presence. He's a good actor. Like him prepping the groom... beforehand, knowing he's gonna die, and kind of crying and then staying strong through that. That was such a good scene that doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Who's done that several times where they know someone's got to die from history, or it was kind of that really strong moment in Rosa too, where he's like, I don't want to be here for this.
Yeah.
Like it was really good, and I don't know, man. I'm really happy with the direction that character is going. So if he does end up getting killed, which I don't think he deserves, if you can make it work out some way to where he gets to be with Ryan's grandmother, I don't know how that works, but it's Doctor Who. I think that'd be if he dies and then he absolutely gets to, or I don't know, there might be something else that comes up that saving Ryan specifically.
Yeah.
I think would be okay, but I don't know. Also, just him leaving is fine, but I don't know if he would. He's kind of running away from the grief and stuff.
It's possible by the end of the season he might just decide, I'm done running, I'm ready to go home, and maybe he'll be a recurring character, kind of like Rose's mom was, but he won't be along with every adventure. That'd
or a
Danny.
Nope, the old guy, Wilf.
Wilf only showed up twice or 3 times.
He was in several episodes, but
I guess you're right. Once Donna showed up, because it turned out he was Donna's grandfather. Fair enough.
Right. Love Wilf too. Love Wilf. I mean, Wilf's obviously there when the regeneration happens. I don't know. I hope he has a good arc.
Yeah.
I've got to, since there's a 5-year plan, much like most shows should have if they're going to run that long. That's why Breaking Bad was so good. We knew that there was going to be an end.
They're making a movie now.
I know they are, but that's okay because it's still the same people. Better Call Saul's good. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
It's kind of the Walking Dead issue where they're just like, the books exist, but we have to stretch this season now.
I'm telling you, man. I've been having to watch The Walking Dead sometimes, and they are running this show so far into the dirt. It's not even funny.
Rick is spoilers for Walking Dead. If you don't want to hear them, leave now. Rick is leaving the show, but getting 3 movies.
What?
Or a movie. I thought I heard 3 AMC movies about Rick's adventures.
AMC, stop.
I can't believe I have to tell AMC to stop, but we all knew this was going to happen at some point. You can't hit on stuff like Mad Men and Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and then not run something.
Well, the thing is, though, the thing about Breaking Bad, that was partially owned by Sony, so Sony wouldn't let them run that into the ground. They were also, bankrolling a lot of that. Same thing with Mad Men.
Wait, Sony did a good thing?
Yeah, Sony Television, not necessarily Sony Pictures. A little bit different.
Fair.
And then someone else owns part of Mad Men. The Walking Dead is the only franchise that AMC has on their own and owns 100% of, and that's why they're milking it till it's dry.
But if you just make a good show, it's good. I don't know. Anyway.
All right, so the next episode is called Kerblam! And
Is it really? I didn't see the preview.
Yeah, I forgot to watch the preview also.
Well, it wasn't on the thing I got, so...
So I guess we'll find out next time!
Kerblam. Probably an explosion.
Probably.
Happens.
Wanna watch it right now?
Sure, let's watch it right now.
Jump cut!
Kerblamo! It's gonna give us nothing. This is pointless.
Welcome to Kablam. Kablam's the biggest retailer in this galaxy. This came to me in a delivery. A man is missing, and I don't think he's the first. I might start to suspect that you're responsible.
No, okay, that one gave us a little bit. Okay.
What was that? Okay, so
trailer for Kablam. We just watched it.
Yeah.
Basically, it looks like the doctor got a message I'm guessing this is going to be a play on. Have you ever seen, like, the notes that abused Chinese sweatshop workers will leave in products? Like...
Oh, yeah,
like, inspected by number 7, and it says, like, please help me in Chinese or whatever. Mandarin, sorry. It looks like the doctor maybe orders something from some retailer somewhere.
Called Kerblam.
And in that, it's a message that says, help me. So it looks like she's going to go there with the companions and find out what's going on behind the doors of this large megacorporation. And there's also androids or something.
Okay, but hear me out. Until I see John Barrowman in one of these, I won't give a shit about them. I just love him so much. He needs to show up. He needs to come back to us. Come back, Jack.
He'll come back sometime.
He's...
Worst case, bring back the giant head.
No, don't bring back the giant head.
They gotta have that prop somewhere, right? There's no way they got rid of that. There's no way they threw that away.
That's probably in Russell T. Davies' bedroom.
That's what he sleeps on. Just the giant face of Bo.
Anyway, John...
And Moffat will occasionally snuggle up to him.
I just want... You know what would be funny? If John Barrowman's character came back and wasn't attracted to Jodie Whittaker.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Because, I mean, she's attractive.
Sure.
She's not, like, oppressively so, but, like,
no,
it seems like someone Jack Harkness would really like. And what if he's like, actually, no.
They could...
Not a fan. Because he's a bisexual man, if you don't remember.
I think it'd be funny if they brought him back, but it was, like, somewhere between Face of Bo.
Oh, and he's, like, weird.
Like, it's still John Barrowman, and during the episode, they do sort of a head-in-a-box thing, similar to what they did with Dorium after he got his head cut off by the monks.
The famous character Dorium, who was in 2 episodes that we're supposed to love.
Blue, fat guy.
No, I know who he is. I'm just, I have no... They introduce him for no reason.
They introduce him...
No, I know the narrative reason, but, like... It was
I agree.
It was like, we're supposed to know him. I remember watching the season through the first time with you. Well, tangentially, you borrowed me the DVDs. And thinking, oh, did I miss a thing?
No.
Anyway.
That episode is so weird in that it's like, remember these characters? Oh,
none of us.
A lot of them you're introducing right now, so no. John Barrowman was supposed to be in that episode, but was busy. Anyway, so that's it. Next time, show up and we'll talk about Kerblam. Also not written by Russell, or not. Definitely not written by Russell T. Davies either, but not written by Chris Chibnall. So, it has a shot.
If it's a 2 for 2, well, I don't think he's a bad writer. I just think he's a bad sci-fi writer.
Fair enough.
Or a weak one, not a bad one.
Maybe if they see this and see that the ratings for the non-Chibnall episodes are higher next season, they'll be like, okay, Chibnall, you're showrunner, but maybe just bookend.
I really, as far as the thesis of the show...
Oh, yeah.
I love that, and that's what he's in charge of. So.
The style is great.
Yeah, so...
Oh,
Anyway.
also, just a little bookend to this. We saw some more shots of the TARDIS. I think it looks cool. It's growing on me.
The arms move up and down with the
the
center.
I didn't notice that.
At least one of them does.
Okay.
It was off into the shot near the end when they're talking about that, when they're in there. The arm is going like this. I don't know if it's attached. But it definitely moves.
Oh, that's neat. Didn't notice.
In conjunction with the centerpiece.
Center.
Yeah. So anyway, we love you. This got weird, but we do. That's just how we feel about you.
Okay, that's the end of the video.
That's how we feel about you, and I wish you felt the same way. There's a lot of pressure on you right now. You should say yes.